was cool. Looking at the ship from inside her structure
Mm-hmm.
while letting myself charge up, that looks really good.
Yeah, it's looking pretty sweet. I'm liking it. Now, do you think those six thrusters? That's actually eight of them, isn't it? That should be
Yeah.
more. That should be more than enough to get us off then.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Especially because we can if it doesn't work, we can always have the hydrogen thrusters helping as well.
right. Are you putting hydrogen thrusters underneath here?
I have to because we're going to be in space.
Right.
I just I haven't figured out where I'm putting them yet
Gotcha.
because I'm going to have to also have the ship gain some altitude for the landing gear and things like that.
Right.
I also don't have any thrusters pointing up yet either.
Well, with the line of conveyors you have along the side here, those shouldn't be too hard to place.
Nope. Nope. That's kind of why I'm needing to figure out how many put where.
So I was thinking about it earlier today. I might do well to actually unseat and reapply thermal paste to my CPU because I don't think it's been replaced since I've had the thing.
Uh, well, I wouldn't necessarily unseat it. I would I would
Well,
touch the.
not
I would
unseat it,
check.
but yeah.
Yeah, I would check to make sure that that it needs it, because like I know I didn't replace the thermal paste on mine until when I opened it up to change the motherboard,
Hmm.
and when I pulled uh, the heatsink off, the chip didn't come with it. So that's how I knew I needed to place it, was that it wasn't attached anymore.
Right.
I just picked it up and it was loose and dry powder came out.
I
I'm going to
can't.
throw out,
I can't remember. Did you say you were a fan of Gundam by chance?
depending on which iteration.
Okay. Which ones have you seen and enjoyed?
Oh god, there was an older. I'm trying to remember which one it was called.
I've seen a lot of the older ones, so I might be able to help you out with the title.
I remember they people had code names based on cards. Like
Yep, that's Mobile Suit Fighter G Gundam, I think. It's like they were all based in their own countries too.
yeah,
Yeah, that was G Gundam. Weird storyline that one, but I liked it alright. I haven't finished it yet though.
I didn't ever get to see all of it, which always irked me.
Uh-huh.
I only got to see bits and pieces as time.
I have some of the Gunpla on it. I had quite the bit of the obsession with Gundam when I was younger. When Wing came out on Toonami, I became very obsessed actually. I was getting a bunch
Yeah,
of the figures and the Gunpla and all that with it.
I'm liking the way this is turning out.
Hmm.
Let's see.
And I'm with you on it. As long as we don't run into any major issues, we should be able to get off the planet tonight. Maybe?
Yep,
Or,
I'm pretty confident that we can do this.
or at least the attempt.
Uh huh. Apparently something funny.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, Draco, I was telling you about, he was trying to get back into recording for YouTube and whatnot. Still don't know if he's going to be getting there or not. And if he gets to watching this episode eventually, you better get your ass back on YouTube. Anyway, he was watching some older videos, and after I built the, I think he's to the part where I'm just starting to build the dead leaves.
Yeah.
And he just asked me on the phone here if I put enough assemblers on it. I was like, nope.
Okay, question
Yep.
for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, when you look at the top of this section right up here, if we ran the these blocks, the conveyor blocks, all the way down to here, and had basically set it up for broadside with Bofors, the whole length of it, or do you think we should just stop and fill this in with light armor?
Considering they will be one of the first things targeted, I would say no, not near the containers here. I would,
More no Bofors near the containers?
yeah, because a lot of times they will target the weaponry
Okay.
first, and that also means they'll be targeting those next. And
All
if
right.
we got, all of our goodies plus in there, bye bye goodies.
Right. This is working out real well.
Yeah,
Kind of happy with it.
I don't think I'm gonna have the heart to tear this down either.
Yeah, unless we absolutely have to.
We may have to refit it if it becomes our primary transport.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm seeing this more like the space engineer's equivalent of, say, the YT-1300. Not really a combat ship, not really a production ship or anything, but is just here to make sure we can transport goods.
Right.
I mean, primary goal is, since we're here, and we have resources and things like that, load this up with enough resources to construct a small, functional base once we get into space.
Mm-hmm. How many steel plates I got left? Not many. I just queued up some more steel plates, by the way.
Okay.
Put about 15 to 2,000 in each assembler, so we should have a decent amount being pushed out pretty quickly.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to grind a bit down on the other side because I'm rebalancing how I'm constructing this.
Alright, should I stop welding this, or is the front side good?
Front's good. I'm adding another upwards thruster.
Gotcha. Alright, that's all glass there, right? Yep.
Everything in the front that's on the outside should all be glass.
Gotcha. That's kind of cool. The way you got these corridors, these passages, as kind of flues for the forward thrusters here.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's going to be my first time trying it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it work, but I'm not 100% sure if it still works.
Gotcha.
You know, since we're talking about TV shows,
Mm-hmm.
and specifically Saturday morning TV shows,
Yes.
cartoons, I mean, those are a great example of things that when you were little and watching them,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't really grasp when they were bad.
Right.
So, but there are still some shows that were good, like we said, the real Ghostbusters and
Mm-hmm.
things along that line. So, I mean, obviously, when you're showing off new shows to other people, you kind of want to show off the good stuff instead of just letting them see the show for themselves and pick, say, a bad episode.
Right.
What do you think are some examples of shows that, or can you think of any examples of shows that, like, you have really good episodes and, like, outstanding episodes, like, that were like, oh, that's painful, watch that. And then, oh, these are fantastic.
Right. Not a lot. I mean, a lot of the cartoons from our childhood really weren't that good, but it's all we had. Um, let's see if I can remember something from memory here. There was a show, and this is reaching back because I don't think it was an American show, and it wasn't an anime of any sort, and we're not getting to that argument again. Do you remember David the Gnome?
Yes.
That show was really good for what it was. And from what I can remember, most of its episodes ranged from passable to really good. And it even handled death in a way at the very end of it that was somewhat unexpected. So, yeah. But as far as things with, something that ranges from really good to really bad episodes, kind of hard to pick from them and choose, I can't really think anything right off.
Okay.
As much as I hate to admit it, I do see things through heart-shaped glasses when it comes to nostalgia. So I'm
Okay.
not really bringing up anything hard right now. I do need.
Well, an example for me
Mm,
would be the original Ninja Turtles cartoon.
right.
I mean, in all its campy gloriness, um, one of the episodes I thought was really good was um, the episode with the pizza monsters.
Yeah.
That,
Yep.
and I really liked that one. That one was fun. The Mousers, anything that had the Mousers in them,
Hmm.
those were fun. And usually, I mean, the earlier the episode, up, it was sim speed, high latency,
Hmm.
and I'm back. But those were all fun episodes. However, as the series progressed and you got to the episodes in the last two seasons,
Yeah.
those really sucked.
Yeah.
The animation quality increased for those last two, but the story decreased significantly.
Hmm. Yeah. That strange mutation glitch thing that was happening with them turning into those things. Yeah.
Supposedly that they were trying to compete against the Power Rangers craze. That.
Yeah. They didn't do well.
So yeah, I only really had one example, but didn't know if you had any other.
Well, I can't remember any particular Transformer episodes that were particularly good. Most of them were just passable.
There were a series in the first one or two seasons that were pretty good because they functioned kind of like a movie.
Yeah.
Because the first season was like 13 episodes, or they were hired for 13, and then midway through got another 13 for the first season or something like that.
Hmm.
And then, so the first half of the first, I always felt spectacular compared to the ones that followed.
Yeah. Yeah. For the youngins out there that may be watching, a lot of our cartoons and majority of yours, even now today, are 30-minute long commercials for the toys.
Yep.
Thankfully, both the Ninja Turtles and the Transformers franchises have grown up and are catering to their adult fans now, who remember all the campiness and keep some of it in, but are also traveling into the world of actual storylines.
Mhm. Just to make sure we don't accidentally nerf that.
And I thank Hasbro dearly, and whoever, I think Nickelodeon is handling the Turtles now, and I thank them both for that, because Prime was dynamite.
I like the underside of this as well. It looks very, very ship-like.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's actually got a really good shape to it. Now, unfortunately, it is very vulnerable under here because it's naked.
Yes.
So let's not turn our bellies, kind of. Let's not show our bellies too much.
Nope. 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 Oh wow! This and the sides. Now that they're all welded up with
Hmm.
the side
Interior plates.
horizontal thrusters,
Yeah, it's looking pretty boss.
we can put some armor and stuff under here. But I'm also looking at putting some thrusters, downward thrusters in here as well.
So, on the topic of cartoons, how about some obscure stuff that you can remember? Like David the Gnome is not something a lot of people remember.
Eureka's Castle.
Ah, Batley was my boy.
There's people out there that think I made that up when I describe it to them.
It was a really good show. I was way too old to be watching it, but it was a good show.
Uh, I McDonald's had a. I mean, that was back when McDonald's Happy Meals had good toys.
Hmm.
Uh, oh, looks like we're out of interior plates.
Yeah, I think I'm carrying the last few.
I'm gonna make some
Hmm.
because I'm gonna need several hundred.
But how about let's see here. There was one that I remember, and I think it tried to follow suit with the Smurfs, and I'm not thinking about the Snorks, even though they definitely were a knockoff. Um,
Well, they ran into each other in one.
did they?
Yeah, they had a special where the Snorks meet the Smurfs.
How about that? But it was another. It was actually two of them. One of them was called the. Oh
There's
crap! What's
interior
it called?
construction component.
There were two of them. One of them, the title I'm thinking about is called The Little Bits. Um, Mouse-like humanoid critters that lived in this house, this old farmhouse that helped out its residents.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then there was one with these little elves, gnome-like critters that were sort of like David the Gnome, but smaller and more childish and more targeted toward kids instead of a general audience. But it was weird. Um, I don't remember what the title of that one was. And I thought it was, and it, the little bits. Okay, Google search time. Okay, the little bits is the one that I'm thinking about now. The elves, gnomes, things, and it was a Japanese series that came over here. Did not know that. The littles were the ones that I was talking about. The mice-like humanoid critters.
Yeah.
But the little bits was interesting. And did I just follow? I did not. Okay. A lot of people don't remember those when I talk about them.
Middle. Just over here.
All right, here's another one for you. Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Sounds familiar. Is that the one with cow, literal cowboys?
Yep, and COW was an abbreviation for Code of the West.
Okay, yeah. Brave Star.
Heard of it, never actually watched it. Didn't air here.
Uh, we only saw it on occasion when we'd stop at some place that had it the right channels.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some. We have a couple of the episodes on VHS. My dad really liked it.
I've always heard it was good. Just
Construction.
like Pirates of Darkwater I used to catch on Boomerang. Never aired here. It was actually pretty cool. Another show that I think was an anime that I didn't know at the time, Silverhawks.
I'm trying to think. Does that sound familiar to me?
They were they were out in space. They were a team of quote unquote heroes. Their bodies were pretty much all metallic silver, and they had wings that would come out when they would spread their arms. They even had, and I think their names were based off of hawks, like Tillyhawk and whatnot.
Hmm. Interesting.
It was different, to say the least. Like, I think in Japan it was called Gacha Man. I think it got airtime over here. That's something that I never saw or even knew about because it didn't air here locally. But they had like bird-like outfits on as well, but they weren't metallic like Silverhawks.
There was one, and Boomerang ran it, and it was obviously a toy ad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to remember how it worked out. But the heroes, they had they had all these gadgets that could switch out on, like the suits that the heroes wore, even in the cartoon,
That was
looked like they had pegs on them.
Yeah, that was the Centaurians. I remember that one. It's kind of like Mask. It was also a toy commercial, and pretty much everything in the cartoon, the toys pretty much did. You know, they all had their own separate masks, and their vehicles would do weird things.
Okay, I hope this makes that airtight.
Although, you know, I can't complain on a lot of those being toy commercials because TV was really my babysitter. And I would not be the person I am today without it. Sad as that is to say.
Yeah.
But talking about obscure things like that, it's fun. A lot of people don't hear about things like that, especially when you get stuff that don't air locally. Like for me, Pirates of Darkwater never aired. Wish it had, because I would have loved it. Because I enjoyed watching it when it came on Boomerang. Completely forgot what I needed. How much pre-planning was involved with this one?
Pretty much, I roughed out how the tubes for fuel and resource storage,
Mm-hmm.
and knew that like the all this stuff would be run underneath it, but that's it.
Nice. Because the underneath is looking pretty boss, and I'm gonna really hate to cover it up.
And then I also kind of roughed out how I would have the takeoff thrusters